Working silently allow me to be really true and genuine with what's really going on in the body. So all the movement would be coming quite genuinely from within.
If there's no music, then I can make that connection with myself and express something that is kind of formless and takes form.
It's not something you'd usually do, to dance without music.
I really like working silently.
Dancing without the music was very, I think, yeah, just an opportunity to just explore.
Dancing silently, there's an edge to it that's quite, not exactly scary, but if you just, it just allows whatever needs to come out to emerge.
Even if there is no music, it's still freeing. It's still there's a way of the body being able to express in a way that it wants to.
For me, practicing without music is a way to draw inwards, where my sense of hearing, my sense of sight kind of turn inside on myself, so that I'm listening to my own noises and watching my own experience, my own body.
The work was more of a ritual to me. I saw when the music cut away as a kind of cut away from this ritual, so their own self-expression.
Sometimes with music, I can get drawn into the music so strongly that, you know, if I want to dance a different rhythm, tough, I can't.
When there's music, music is always slightly manipulating you towards an experience. When you are in silence, there is no manipulation. It's just you and yourself and something arising within you.
With the music breaking away, I was like, oh, that's actually the sound they're making, and oh, that's what they're doing.
So I really like that juxtaposition.
There was a dramatic moment of cutting out the music where it's like, oh, okay, like this is less cinematic, and I actually felt more relaxed after that.
The moment that was most interesting was when the music cut from the first track to the sounds of the dancers hitting the floor, and I felt like there was like a continuity there, and part of me felt that the rhythm that was in the music was really carried on by the dancers.
Not being able to listen to the music also made me attentive to some of the different sounds and focus more on how they were moving a bit more.
At first it was really jarring to me when it cut from the music just to the sound. And I was like really taken out of it and like shocked, and then but it was good. It ended up being good because I was able to see the contrast between the two.
I actually felt more joy from them when the music was on, and that was just because of how contrasting it was.
It was very grounding. It's quite very earthy, but just purely from the dance point of view, the music, the more flowing, the floatier parts appeal to me.
When you hear it without the music, you can give a completely different meaning to the whole experience.
When I lost the music, it didn't feel as enjoyable. It sounded like a herd of elephants, almost, not like these beautiful poetic dances that we might come to associate with ballet, where you can barely hear a footfall. And I think that's kind of an illusion I had got, that these were all light, flowing movements, that they were really carefully chosen, carefully moved into, and then losing the music, it's, oh, this is doing something completely different. This is really heavy. This could be quite draining.
The moment where the music cuts out and the dance takes over and you feel it. You feel that it's a single thing, even though you separate the two. and there's that moment of touch, and then it goes back and diverges a little bit.
Losing the music also felt with, oh, have they been listening to music at all, or am I just being made to believe that this is to music, and in fact they're just going off the sounds of others and the rhythms of others?
I was like distanced from the film because I was thinking, well, I don't think that they're hearing the music that I'm hearing in the film.
It felt really somber, which was really contrasting because you look at the dancers and they really seem to be enjoying this.
The smiling was a really deep contrast with the music.
I wanted more to like just face what it might have been to be there, and like not to be manipulated by like the editorial effects or something. The music was scary.
There was also something mysterious and a little bit aggressive.
This kind of music definitely is a pathway to different kind of bodily sensations, especially because we're dealing with so many low frequencies. There are times when the combination that's created, I always think of it as I can almost feel the air ripping apart. There's a tension and a conflict between different frequencies which just causes so much tension, and physically I don't think you can get away from feeling that tension.
Like my heart was racing and my palms were sweating most of the time due to the music, I think.
This triggers a little bit sense of depth within the whole thing, instead of just people going a little bit mad and free.
No matter how non-rhythmic the music is, it does have an influence on your movements.
The rhythm of whatever's being played will always influence movements. If there's a lot of sharp, short notes, that tends to always make people think of very jerky movements.
The music, in a way, leads me, enables me to sort of lead out the movement from within into a movement form.
There are sound and movement equivalents, like a long tapered note just sort of goes with a flowing movement, and a lot of really fast notes tend to go with very short, sharp movements.
The way the music kept on repeating, and that's kind of what I saw the dancers also doing. So they were doing very simple, coordinated movement, and it seemed to just repeat itself for quite a bit.
It's just nicer not to be dominated and not to be led too much by the music, and allow the genuine movement and the connection with yourself come through.
I wanted to connect the two, and not having them connect made me more aware of how, when they were matching, is that because they appear to be matching, or is that more because I want them to match? I
felt a desire for the music to match what I was seeing, which it didn't most of the time, which I noticed while I was watching.
I like the offbeat movements and the way they weren't choreographed bang on with the music. It was with it, but not purposely on the beat, which was really nice. Yeah.
Because of how repetitive it is, you just lose yourself into that rhythm, and then, like I said, you start reading everyone's bodies in relation to that rhythm, and it helped me understand the rhythms of their own body when I tried to place like an arm movement into the 4-part beat of the music.
Hearing computers make music, it's lacking something. There's something not there. And that is up here. It's everything that makes us human. It's all of our humanity. It's our emotions. It's our memories. It's our feelings.
It can, it can trigger emotions. It can trigger some sort of memories.
And movement is the exact same thing. You could stand 5 people in a line and tell them all to raise their right arm 90 degrees in a very precise tempo. And every one of them will be slightly different. But exactly how that looks, exactly how the line looks, exactly what emotion's being conveyed, that all comes from within, that all comes from our humanity. With the same motion and no change of facial expression, you can convey different emotions to whoever's seeing it. And that's where I think the unity between music and movement comes in, even when there's no really clear beat to hang on to and really clearly synchronize. It's still the same enigma of taking a set course of actions, but then filtering it through ourselves as we perform those actions.